Hello, 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 beautiful people of Facebook. This is Janie Crick tuning in live. I'm here in Brookfield, Illinois, and we're about to get into our second self-love meditation for a series of 4. Last Friday, we got to get into and talk about self-love through healthy boundaries, self-love through discernment, self-love through direct communication, direct action, or direct inaction. Being able to know how and when to step up for yourself in that way. Self-love is all about honoring your time, honoring your space. And last week we mentioned that we were going to be moving into a self-love mirror meditation this week. So today we will be doing the mirror meditation. So if you have access to a handheld mirror of some sort, or if you have like a bathroom that you are able to be in, or if you want to save this meditation for later and do it in your own private time, I invite that. But then I also invite that before we get to the portion where we are in front of the mirror, we actually are not looking into the mirror. We kind of like turn it face downward, or we're just not in that space for now. Because there's a few steps that we have to get to before we engage in that way. So the mirror meditation. A lot of people have expressed concern about mirror meditation because there have been some thoughts of vanity and some thoughts of being more on the physical level of love as opposed to the unconditional compassionate level, the higher vibration level, the unattachment level. And while both sides, while that's a very valid concern about vanity, and this is not what we're trying to invoke in any sort of way, I personally have felt such a deep healing in the practice of being able to show up to the mirror and look at myself deeply, with compassion, without judgment, and to see and honor where I have and where I have been as a human being on this planet. All the accomplishments, all the years, all the marks of being a human through the mirror. There's a very beautiful exchange that happens when we stand in front of a mirror with ourselves in a similar way when we do eye gazing with another person. The eyes are the doors to the heart, to the soul, to our entire lineage, to all that we have seen. And so when we can share that with another person in eye gazing, it cuts through the stereotypical and the materialistic idea of what love is, and it allows us to step into and see someone. Now, when we do this in a mirror, it can be a little bit more scary because it's ourselves. It's you stepping in and looking at yourself. And how many times in the society that we live in have we learned to judge ourselves? Have we learned to criticize ourselves in our bodies, to look at something and immediately point out where it is wrong, where it is, where it needs improvement, where we could do better. It's everywhere. It's everywhere, from what we see on the TV, from what we see in magazines, from what we see on our Facebook feed of the glorified versions of people's lives. We know this. We have acknowledged it to ourselves, to our friends before, and it's something that we can actually break through to develop new, healthier patterns. So, and that's what self-love is about. It's about breaking down the old patterns that no longer serve us and developing new, healthier patterns with yourself. Feeling empowered to do that, so you can step in and say, no, I'm going to take control over how I view, I see, I treat myself. And I'm going to do that in the most loving and compassionate way, full of gratitude for all the years that I have had on this planet. And then when I do that, when I have that healing for myself, I'm going to walk through my life in that way, and maybe share that life with someone else, that light with someone else. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into a centered space. We're going to get right into it. Have that mirror available to you if you're participating at this time. But yeah, so let's go ahead and find a quiet, centered space. Good. So let's go ahead and take 3 clearing breaths. It is the end of the week. You made it. You did it. We're here. And let's just cleanse anything that doesn't serve us from this week. Any communication, any interaction, any problem that happened, that came up, that caused another problem, that caused a reaction, any communication that didn't go well, anything that shifted in your life, that caused a disruption in your centeredness. Let's go ahead and just cleanse that. Let's let it go. We don't have to forget it, but we can let it go and not feel like we have to worry about that now. So those 3 breaths. Closing the eyes, getting into a nice centered space. We inhale, filling up the lungs all the way. And then we exhale. Good. Deep inhale all the way from the belly up to the lungs. And exhale. Clear, 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 clear. Deep, deep inhale. And exhale. Continuing to breathe at your own pace. Going to lead us into a sacred space. I've already opened up a vortex this morning with Merlin and Hari Baba in the intention of the violet flame through Saint Germain. So this is a love-filled space. I ask Archangel Michael to create a connecting vortex between where I am in this space through this technology, so anyone that needs to hear this message of self-love, of self-appreciation, of self-gratitude, of self-healing, that they receive this message with no interruptions, that the technology stands tall. I know that when we get into an energetic space, sometimes technology can cut in and out, and I ask that this just be a protected portal, a protected connection, a connected link. I call on the angels to place a circle of protection around myself as a clear channel, allowing only energies of high vibration of the Mahatma love without condition to come in. I send this bubble of protection around anyone who is receiving this meditation this morning. You are in a safe, sacred space. Even if you're out and about, know that you are protected. That you are honored in your work, and that anything that happens during this time, any image that comes up into the head, any color, any memory, anything that comes up during this time or doesn't come up during this time, maybe it's just a still time, but anything that happens during this meditation is a message to you. So again, I call in Mother Mary, Mother of Peace, Mother of Allowance, the ultimate self-love, healer. I call in Mother Mary to wrap her arms around us, to hold us in this time and space, so that we may feel protected with your gentle care, your gentle love. I call on Saint Germain to bring in the violet flame of Mahatma love, of that Shambhala energy, filling this space with the violet flame, the violet light, seeing everything around us covered in that violet light. Thank you, Saint Germain. I call in Archangel Uriel to bring us into this solar plexus of empowerment, of balance within our ego, our self-esteem, to not feel depleted, to not feel overly confident or egoic, but to feel balance, so we are sure of ourselves, where we honor our individuality. I call in Krishna to help us find that centered space within our mind, so that any thoughts, any fleeting thoughts of judgment, of pain, of distraction that may come up, we ask you, Krishna, now to help us center. And we call in Radha to help us ignite anew that self-love and healing through compassion and humility. And finally, I call on my guides, my guardians, my angels and ancestors to help me assist in bringing through this message in the clearest and most understandable way for the highest good of all. And if you have any guides that you would like to call in now, in your personal space, to help you get into a space of compassion for yourself, to hold this space for yourself, I invite you to invite those guides into your space. Now, if this is something that is new for you, that's okay. We all have these allies that are looking out for us, that are helping us, that are giving us messages, that are giving us direction, honoring us in our path, and helping us to learn how to honor ourselves. And since we all have them, whether you've met them or not, or you've had any sort of inkling as to who or what they might be, something that I started doing before I met any of my spirit guides was I just invited them in. They're there. They know you. They have been helping you your entire soul's journey. And so if you invite them in, maybe there will be an opportunity to meet them. Always invite them in. And remember that you're in a safe, protected space, so anyone that you invite in is going to be of the high vibration for your highest good. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale. So again, we feel this centered space. So I want you now to begin to observe through sound anything that may be happening around you. In all directions. What is happening above you? Do you hear anything above you? Tune in with your hearing. Sharpen your hearing. Do you hear anything happening below you? Around you, on the sides of you, in front of you, behind you? Say to yourself what you hear. Or say it out loud. That's okay too. Continuing that breath and tuning into your present moment, where you are right now. And again, this is an observation time, so there's not any need for judgment. And if that pops up, call in Krishna again. To balance the mind and just observe. This is pulling you into this moment. Now see if you can hear your breath. Hear your lungs filling up all the way. Can you hear your own heartbeat? Can you try? And now that you've drawn attention to this exact moment, I want you to imagine now that you are walking up to a beautiful, beautiful waterfall with a nice pool of water below. And it's cool, and it's fresh, and it's green all around, and the temperature is perfect. And you're walking up to this waterfall, and you just stop and stand, and you observe your surroundings. And when you're ready, when you feel complete in holding reverence for this space, we ask permission to enter this space, this beautiful piece of nature. And maybe you can even visualize yourself laying down tobacco to ask permission to enter this land. And then you slowly begin to walk into this pool of water. Feeling the water coming up to your feet. Now the water, as you are walking, covering your shins, your calves. What's the temperature of this water? And then it comes up and it covers your knees, your thighs. And as you continue to walk, it comes up to your groin and your hips and your waistline and your belly. And you continue to walk into this water, and it comes up to your chest, now covering your back, and your arms are lifted up, and you're wading in this water. And then finally your arms submerge, and it's up to your neck and your shoulders, and your hair is now getting wet. You feel it on the back of your neck, your head, and then you completely submerge yourself into this water, feeling it cover your head. And you come up for that breath. And then you begin to swim over to the waterfall, where you climb up onto a rock that is directly under this waterfall. And it's a very gentle waterfall. Nothing too powerful, but it's also a nice current, so it's not just trickling, it's a nice, beautiful shower. And you sit up onto this rock, and you allow this waterfall to begin to pour over your head, rolling down every inch of your body, rolling over your face, rolling over your mouth, your chin, your throat, your shoulders, rolling down your back, rolling over your front. You feel this waterfall cleansing you. Whew. Feeling yourself surrounded by nature. And as this waterfall continues to roll over your body, rolling down your legs and then off of your feet into the pool of water below you, you release anything that does not serve you in this moment. Any judgment, any energy that does not belong to you, you release. Any entity that you may feel like you have picked up along the way that has been bothering you, release it, cut it, let it go. And this water still pours over your head, making you so fresh and so pure and so clean. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, begin to come back to your space, to walk out from your waterfall, and to walk around the pool of water into a nice meadow of grass, beautiful grass. And you feel the warmth of the sun drying this water off of you, giving you that new light, that new energy, revitalizing you, giving that vitamin C and that vitamin D and all those good rays of self-love, of confidence, of self-esteem, of balance. Feeling that sun just nourish you. And let's change the perspective. Instead of being in a space where you feel these things, now pull the perspective out and observe yourself in this scenery, in this space. You see yourself laying in this meadow, next to this pool of water, next to this waterfall, and the sun is on you, and you are in your most pure and natural form. You are in nature. Any problems that you had before this moment are in the furthest distance from you now. You are here. And you get to observe that. You get to observe yourself in this bliss, in this cleansing and revitalizing moment. Stepping back into your centered perspective, we raise one hand up to the sky, honoring Father Sky, honoring Mother, Father, God Source, the universal light in the stars, and we send one hand down to the earth, honoring Mother Earth, our bodies. And when you're ready, bringing those hands from both the top of your body and the bottom of your body into center, pulling the energy in, pulling it into a space, and bringing it right in front of your heart. Having this heart-centered space. Coming to the center, feeling the energy balancing you here in this moment, your hands in front of your heart still. Knowing that you are an energetic being, let's begin to expand and contract this beautiful heart-centered space. And you may begin to see a ball of energy between your hands. Filling this heart chakra space, filling this love space, opening it up. Inhale. Exhale. Heart-centered. Inhale into the heart. This is our gratitude. Inhale. Our greatest gratitude. We call on Mother Mary to help us find that centered gratitude space. What are you grateful for in this moment? And now that we have opened and expanded this heart-centered space, I want you to turn this ball of light and put it directly into your heart. And then feeling it fill the inside of your body, feeling it fill you up. You are now covered in all of this love that you have created for yourself, that you've pulled in from the universe, that you have harnessed, and now you are filled, you are cleansed, you are rejuvenated, and you are in that heart-centered space. We're going to take 3 breaths here, filling the lungs all the way, and exhale. Filling the lungs all the way. And exhale. Last breath, full breath in, filling the lungs all the way. Good work. And exhale. Good. I'm letting this go. So we're about to get into a space where we are observing ourselves and we are spending time with ourselves in the mirror. So if you have a mirror handy, don't look into it yet, but just familiarize yourself with where this mirror is. If you're going into the bathroom to have time in the bathroom in front of the mirror, you can begin to shift your location. But we're going to step into this space, remembering this heart-centered space, remembering all the cleansing that you just did, remembering all of the empowerment that you brought yourself, all the judgment that you released, and remembering this balance. And when you're ready, then beginning to lift the mirror up. Now, the first thing that we're going to delve into is observation. And we know how to do this. We just did this. We observed our surroundings. We observed where we were. We observed how we felt. So merely observe. Don't get into judgment now. Find that heart-centered space. And let's begin to look at ourselves. Look at your eyebrows, your eyes, your nose, your cheeks, your nostrils, as if you're looking at a painting. Just observe. This is a human standing in front of me. Hold this space for yourself. No judgments right now, just notice what you see. Just like we just noticed what we heard. Notice what you see. Notice the colors, the textures, the shapes. Again, just spending that time with yourself. Look around. Change the angle. You might see something that you've never seen before. And from this heart-centered space, slowly begin to make eye contact with yourself. Look into your own eyes as if you are looking into someone's eyes that you love so deeply. And if you don't feel that yet, act as if it is already something that you feel. These eyes are the gateway to your soul, and you are having an opportunity to look deep into your soul right now. How beautiful. What an honor. So many other people have this opportunity when they come in contact with you throughout the day. They get to look at you. They get to see you. They get to know your expressions better than you know your own expressions, because we aren't constantly looking at ourselves. So we're looking into our eyes and we find compassion. And maybe we remember, whatever that means to you. And then finally, when you have observed yourself objectively, when you have connected with yourself compassionately, let us now send love. Send love to all of the years that got you to this place. Send love for all the laughter that you've had in your life, all the tears that you have had in your life, all of the challenges, all of the victories and rewards, all that you have seen, felt. Send love to yourself. And if you need to, you can put your hands up and just send that love that way. Send it to yourself. I love you. I love you. I love you. And if you feel comfortable doing so, begin affirmations. I love you. I'm proud of you. Look how far you have come. You're doing a great job. You are so beautiful. Smile. Again, drawing into the observation. Notice yourself. Notice your reactions when you say these things to yourself. It can feel good. And it's not about boosting your ego, and it's not about boosting into a space of vanity. It's about giving yourself back your power. It's about honoring yourself, recognizing the work that you have done, recognizing all of the years that you have been on this planet, and sending love to yourself. And this is so important in this self-love. So many times we are in a space where we are seeking this approval from other people. We are seeking outside of ourselves for that love and compassion that ultimately we have to hold for ourselves. And if you cry, it's okay. And if you laugh, it's okay. And if you are struggling with this, that's okay. This is a practice that you can do every day, once a week. Maybe come back to it after a month or so. But to see yourself. And then when you're ready and when you feel complete, send yourself love, gratitude, honor. Say thank you for showing up today. Thank you for doing the work. And thank you for being your most genuine you. And when you're ready, you may take the mirror away, you may set it down, you come back into this space. And maybe you want to close your eyes. That can be a nice thing to do after having such a long, extended eye-gazing moment. Kind of acclimating. So as I mentioned, this is something that you can do on your own time, in your own space, and you can take longer with it. You can do more than just tuning in with your face and your eyes. You can do a full body mirror meditation. The only thing that I suggest that's actually really important is to cleanse yourself, cleanse your body, smudge yourself, go into a waterfall, have a pitcher of water over your head, cleanse you, and pour anything that doesn't serve you into the earth. Do any sort of cleansing exercise to really clear anything that does not belong to you off of your body. So that you're in your most purest form, and then igniting and finding that heart-centered place of compassion. Those are the first two steps. And then when you've done those things, you will be so ready and so prepared to step in front of that mirror, to hold compassion with yourself. The first step is objectivity, to objectively view what's in front of you. No opinions, no judgments, only seeing what is literally in front of you. And then you move into compassion, where you recognize yourself. You look into your eyes, you remember all of your memories, how you've seen so much. You see yourself in compassion as a human being. And then you move into a space of sending yourself love. You are beautiful. I am grateful for you. Look how much you've grown. You are doing a great job. I am proud of you. Sending yourself that love. And then when you're ready, sending gratitude, thanking yourself for showing up, and then disengaging. And then going about your day. And then feeling what it feels like to have done that. That's awesome work. And there's a lot that can be gained from being with yourself. And that's what we're doing with this self-love. So boundaries